Welcome everybody to the spring semester 2024 here at Pratt Graduate Architecture. I hope you had a very peaceful winter break. This is your final semester and your one studio of experiments. For us, it is the third installment of our Fair Structures Studios. Fair Structure Studios promote and cultivate fairness in all kinds of structures, including natural structures, engineered structures, ecological, political, and social structures. We thoroughly study the most pragmatic of structures, building structures, engineered structures, and how we classify them and relate them to each other and how they relate to natural structures. On the more philosophical end of the structure discussions, we are leaning towards non-hierarchical structures and read through contemporary texts that question the idea of human exceptionalism. The theoretical approach here brings conceptual and material matters together, all kinds of materials, physical material, digital material, it doesn't matter. We collaborate with autonomous systems, robots, and AI. At the center of our collaboration is always the material. We are prompting the studio with a series of material exercises, some at this point more familiar than others, like 3D print casting, but also novel speculative material alchemies through pour painting, ice catenary structures, thread models, etc. The first installment of the Fair Structure Studio was concerned with the modern ruin of the 1964 World Fairs Expo in New York. With the second last spring, our studio represented Pratt Architecture at the 2023 Seoul Biennale of Architecture and Urbanism in Korea, and we were awarded with a full feature at the Biennale, interestingly also a form of fair. This project was an urban waterscape, a living fabric connecting old and new Seoul across the Han River in South Korea. Now, a third Fair Structure Studio, the Spring, is in a way a hybrid or a child of the first two. As the New York State Pavilion of the World Expo, our new site is a large-scale modern ruin. And as in the Seoul Biennale, our context is largely water. The New York structure and the new Miami structure are in effect both iconic memorials, representing a very particular relationship between humans and the natural world. In the first case, in New York, it was the celebration of superiority through technology, in effect a form of human imperialism. In the second case, the project we work with now, speedboats darting through most sensitive marine habitats, represent a similar human arrogance which has become part of the structure's cultural history. So we are in Miami and the site is the Marine Stadium, a decommissioned water sports arena. We begin the semester with research into the global climate crisis as it currently manifests itself in Miami. What particular challenges, opportunities are discussed and developed? At one scale, we look specifically into a natural structure, into mangrove trees and forests. We will visit and immerse ourselves in these structures on a paddle boat during spring break. So we're going to Miami. There we are looking at the historical and historic building structures, try to understand a city on a deeper level in relationship to its natural structures. We look into mangrove trees as models for an integrated, sustainable idea of structures, as an organizational, programmatic, urban, building, living structure. We study the Marine Stadium as a building structure itself, which has at this point accumulated several layers of cultural manifestation. Again, we practically look at building structures and structure systems and the relationship between classes of redirecting forces and classes of morphological and aesthetic categories. We ask, can there be a fair structure? And if so, what is an aesthetic of ethics in structural expression? So we'll travel to Miami during spring break, a trip that is partially supported by the studio budget. In case you cannot go, it's no problem. You're just as welcome to join the studio. Everybody's welcome. Our team is joined by Ezio Blasetti, who is a close friend of the studio and again this year acts as a computational and robotics guru. At the Pi Lab, we're always so welcomed by Greg Sherrod. Thank you so much for your continued support. So you can consider yourself in the very best hands when it comes to robotics and AI. And also, by the way, when it comes to the genuine integration into the general design methodology of our studio. We also have a casual internal collaboration with Kai-Uwe Bergmann of Big, our sister studio. The exact form of our collaboration with Kai-Uwe will develop organically, but it probably includes a shared pin-up or review. In Miami, we are meeting with colleagues at the University of Miami and Florida International University. We're also meeting with the founder of the Restore Miami Marine Stadium organization and several local stakeholders. As soon as the rosters are finalized, I'll send you a message with the first steps. This is Studio Jonas Coersmeier with our project Miami Marine.